Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Carter. How are you doing, sir?
Good idea.
I'm good, I'm good. Always a pleasure to be here. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Um, we discussing health. Today is a Sunday. Do you hear? Today's the 30th. Whoa. Month is properly finished. So Sunday, 30th of April, and we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. This week was a little rough in the sense that we had a little situation with traffic and a number of things. So some of my commitments I wasn't able to make, so I do apologize for that. We are just came off a marathon clinic for Shogunas. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks, right? Yeah, and it was very well received. We had a lot of individuals. Most importantly, we had a lot of persons with a lot of results within that short space of time because we normally do our feedbacks like every 10 days or 10 days after coming to us. We'll call you to find out how you're going and that type of thing. So a lot of persons, received those calls somewhere along in 1 month, within that month, and have actually been getting results. So that's a good thing. So of course today we'll be going along that trend. Next week is Day's week. Day is actually going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I will actually have to be back in Shogunas because of some of the commitments that I have there. So Day will actually get Monday, Tuesday, as well as Saturday. And we didn't have any issue with that because based on the amount, and then Davey is going to get Mountain again, depending on how we schedule it. Tobago, of course, is the 8th to the 13th. That's very important to ensure that we get things doing. So we come into come, we get in ourselves in our place. Of course, you could always better your best, and that is, of course, our earnest ambition to ensure that we continue to improve and get better at what we do. Good. Let me say a pleasant good morning. Keep in mind we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Vidya Abdul. She says good morning to everyone in the house. Miss Kathleen Ishmael, always a beautiful blessing. Miss Angela Andrew says blessed morning to you, Dr. Batson and family. Marge Hills, a blessed good morning, Dr. Batson and Associates, and all locked on. Marge Hills, of course, is joining us in Toronto. So let me say a pleasant good morning to her. And of course, on our Instagram, we have the blessed one. We also have, and she says, good morning. Yeah. And we also have Mr. Kevin Ite. So a lot of persons joining us. Keep in mind that it is an interactive program. So based on what we discuss, and of course, any health issues that you may have, that's what we're going to speak about. So we're going to talk about two things today, primarily. And of course, we expound as we go along based on the questions that are asked. So we're actually discussing hormonal imbalance in women this morning. And I'll tell you why I decided to speak about that, which we have done, on, one or two occasions. Sometimes some people may ask a question on polycystic ovaries. So of course we'll deal with that. Because when you're speaking about hormonal imbalance, the diseases or the imbalances associated with a hormonal imbalance in the body is great. There's like thousands of diseases or thousands of imbalances that an individual could have, male or female, just by having hormonal imbalance. So an example would be polycystic ovaries in the case of women, fibroids in the case of women, endometriosis, which is thickening of the uterine lining. With fibroids, you have different type of fibroids. You have intramural, you have subserosal, you have pondulated. So you have like 5 different types of fibroids, and those fibroids are given their name based on their location. So, for example, intramural fibroids tend to be some of the worst type of fibroids to deal with simply because they are in the wall of the uterus itself rather, and as a result of that, it tends to become meshed, or it's usually combined itself or wraps itself within certain types of tissue. So that's why women, for example, who have those fibroids, if you have to do surgical procedures, they might assume or want to do myomectomy or embolization. Myomectomy is when you actually physically remove individual fibroids themselves. So there's some sort of cutting and it's a surgical procedure. The thing is, what happens, depending on where those fibroids are located, if they are actually inside the walls, the pendulated ones can be a little problematic as well, subserosal. I'll get the other two ones for you in a little bit. So again, if it becomes intertwined, for ease of explanation, within the walls, because remember your body is different parts but many different units. The point is, when you have and the thing with the uterus is where's the word, boy? It is an organ that can become problematic for women based on digestive issues. And I always tell, because if you look at the uterus from the perspective of anatomy and physiology, the uterus is basically to the front. I believe we normally call it, I believe it's an anterior to the yes, correct. So the uterus will be anterior to the colon, and the colon will be posterior to the uterus. So basically front back, right? So essentially they are neighbors. So as a result of that, any sort of gastrointestinal imbalance that women experience usually result in worsening health of the uterus. So let me say that again. So usually, and when I say usually, we're looking at it in about the 95th percentile, high probability. Usually, women who have gastrointestinal problems, i.e., acid reflux, bloating, gas, constipation, usually you're going to have a uterine problem. If you don't have it yet, it's just a matter of time. If you experience serious gastrointestinal problems, women, you notice usually when it's time for your period, what is one of the things that has always happened to you? Bloating. Why do you think it's become bloated? Because your neighbor, where your uterus is your colon. So as a result of that, you find that there is some sort of, bloating, gas. Of course, at Batson Associates, there are a number of things that we do for hormonal imbalance. I'll discuss uterine formula in a bit, which is something that we have stopped getting because of COVID, but we have recently, well, when I say recently, maybe like about the last year, we have started back getting it, which is the Uterine Plus, which is a product specifically designed for uterine and hormonal health in women. So back to what I was saying as regards to so sometimes they cannot surgically do individual aspects, myomectomy, which is remove the fibroids themselves, or embolization, which is actually cutting the blood vessel leading to the fibroid. So hence the fibroid is not getting fed again. So the fibroid is supposed to disintegrate. Those are essentially the reasons why they would do either of those. The point I'm making, a lot of times they can't do it because of how the environment associated with the uterus is, and that is a matter as it relates to that whole gastrointestinal problems and that type of thing. So if you're a female listening to this program, or you may have children, daughters, whatever the case may be, this is something that you should pay very close attention to, because we have a lot of women who, again, hysterectomies, they just removing your womb. And, contrary to popular belief, the only purpose of the uterus is not for procreation. So in other words, that is not only for you to make children, right? There's the medical assumption is made that women can have hysterectomies because they have already given birth to children, which is one of the most foolish aspects of that. I watch my that is real nonsense. Nonsense of the highest order. So in other words, what I'm saying to you, and I always say this, whatever parts you came into this world with, God's willing, when time for you to meet your maker, see if you could go with those parts, please. All. If you could go with everything, go with everything. So if you're missing a gallbladder, you're missing an appendix, the popular ones that it is like to take out. Appendix, gallbladder. Sometimes they take out your appendix, and when you look at the report, after the surgery, appendix, good condition. Normal appendix, which means that they take out your appendix for nothing, because you get some belly pain. Because usually, if you have severe stomach pain for a number of days, usually is problem with your appendix. Your appendix could be swollen, it could be infected. God forbid if it ruptures inside of there, you're going to have problems. The same could happen to your gallbladder as well. So, those tend to be very popular organs that they remove. And believe me, that have nothing to do with genetics or anything like that. The majority of the times, unless it was something from birth, which was congenital, most of the time, it is as a result of some sort of poor lifestyle choices. The gallbladder people is people who like plenty butter, cheese, such these different types of oils, hydrogenated oils, that type of thing, your gallbladder can't process that. So it's just going to go in there and cause problems and stay and cause gallstones and basically infect the gallbladder for an extended period of time. Your immune system cannot deal with it. And then boom, you end up having a problem where you have to remove your gallbladder or your appendix. So, try and stack the odds in your favor. You don't want to be removing organs left, right, and center, which is what they're doing now. So I'm saying all of that to say that you just need to be mindful and don't leave things to get worse. And that's the problem with a lot of women. Sometimes you're functioning. You're not feeling good in a way, you're functioning. So because of that, you have your things to do. You have your money to go and make, you have to go and work, you have your children to take care, whatever the case may be. Family, mother, sister, whatever. So at the end of the day, you're putting those things first. And I mean, people could understand and respect that. But the problem is when you leave that, because I'll tell you what usually happens to women with bad hormonal imbalance. You reach a point where you end up becoming a bleeder, technically. What is a bleeder? Bleeders are referred to as women who have severe bleeding problems during, after, or before their menstrual cycle. Because most women who have serious hormonal imbalance usually have serious bleeding problems. Your period is never proper. So your period is supposed to last 5 days. Some women will bleed for 30 days. They may not be bleeding the same as profusely as they may be over the period of time. Well, in some cases, you run out of blood. You have no more blood. You can't bleed because your blood count low. And I'm not saying that, to come across facetious in any way, but it's a serious thing. Because when you leave it, it means it reaches a point where it is an emergency now. And God forbid, I have no other choice but to do the surgery because I can't continue bleeding like that. Obviously. I mean, a woman who listening to this and know exactly what I'm speaking about. So the thing is, the first question you need to ask yourself, why are you not having a normal menstrual cycle? That's the first question you need to ask yourself. So is it that you're having a painful period? Contrary to popular belief, you should not have a painful menstrual cycle. Maybe a first time, possibly, depending. But generally, if every month you have your menstrual cycle and you're having pain, no, something wrong with you. The thing is, what you have to be mindful of, most of the time women tend to medicate themselves before their periods, which is usually a bad thing, eh? Because you see, the thing is, pain is an indication that something is wrong, right? So if you're always popping pills before, you're not getting the opportunity for your body to tell you, hey, I have a pain you have a pain under your left bust, so you have a pain under your right bust, you have 2 centimeters below your knee, but you don't know. Because you just don't know where the pain is because you're doing what? You're only taking things to numb the pain. So you may not be privy to the information that your body is telling you, hey, something wrong here now, because you are getting pain. Pain is always an indication that something is wrong. You don't get pain just like that. You shouldn't be getting pain like it means something is wrong. And common sense may be for book. The longer you leave it, if you're not making any sort of corrective measures to fix it, you're going to be some problems. So that's one of the things we deal with at Batson and Associates: fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. That uterine formula had given us some very good results with clients who came to us with fibroids. Now I'll explain something to you with fibroids. Of all the hormonal imbalance challenges that women experience, fibroids, endometriosis and adenomyosis are usually the most dangerous. If you don't know what adenomyosis is a situation where you almost have fusing of the uterus with the endometrial lining. So again, a lot of rubbish inside of there. You have things inside of your uterus that are not supposed to be there. Because think about it. If usually when we get ultrasound reports, so normally if I send someone to get an ultrasound, we usually ask for abdominal pelvic ultrasounds, right? Now, with an abdominal pelvic ultrasound, the sonographer is going to get basically. Now, the thing is, in some cases, we know there are ultrasounds that women do where you actually have to use contrast. That's the one where they actually have to insert, and that's real. Women generally do like to do that for a number of reasons. It's uncomfortable. In some cases, it could be painful, right? But at the end of the day, the doctor wants the information to try to help you as best as they can, right? And usually, an ultrasound like that is going to give what we want to see, so we know exactly what's going on with the uterus if you have a lot of buildup. And usually you do have buildup because the ultrasound would state that you have a bulky uterus. Bulky, of course, meaning it's filled up with things that is not supposed to be there. So it means now that that's one problem that you have to fix. So the thing is, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, some fibroids are usually easy to deal with. Let us go to with the hard ones. The hard ones, you see, endometriosis, serious problem. That is not something to be toyed with. That will kill you. If you have I remember getting a client who had endometriosis. The endometriosis, sorry, was so bad that whenever they got their menstrual cycle, they would have bleeding from their lungs. So they actually had endometriosis in the lungs as well. So let me also make this point to you. Endometriosis is not only um confined to the uterus. You could have endometriosis in any part of the body, a female. So I've had clients who had endometriosis in the lungs. I had one who had endometriosis in her intestines. So they will have regular endometriosis, which is uterine endometriosis, but they will also have, you can have endometriosis in any part of the body. Usually it tends to be gastrointestinal and lungs because of the proximity of those organs and because of the organ system in terms of biochemistry and what is involved in terms of the relationship between your lungs and your heart and those type of things. So as a result of that, it means that you could be in serious problems. So the endometriosis tends to spread. So there was this particular client I got, and the doctors, and here was their advice. This is what, well, I wouldn't say it annoyed me, but I found they could have come with a better solution than that. Because you always have to understand in medicine, the objective of a medical team, your medical practitioners, these people are responsible for your health. Now, we're not talking about the lazy people who don't want to do absolutely nothing for themselves and believe that the doctor had to take care of them. I am no such doctor. As I always tell people that. We in this game, both of we have skin in this game. I have skin in this game, you have skin in this game. Because if you come to get results, there has to be a feedback process. You all know, people who came to us know how we operate. Very thorough. Because we need to ensure that, as I say, both of us have skin in the game. As far as I'm concerned, you come to me with a problem, you are the problem, I don't have the problem, And I'm not saying that again to, to try to be condescending or anything like that. It's simply stating a fact. You come with an issue, the issue is your issue, but it is Batson and Associates issue because we're working with you to correct the problem. So let's understand what I'm talking about, right? Good. So it means now that you have to understand when you're dealing with endometriosis, when you're dealing with adenomyosis and you're dealing with particular type of fibroids, you have a journey before you. And the journey that you have before you is a journey that requires a lot of work. And the problem is a lot of women do not want to do the work. I'm going to be honest with you all. It requires work. You know why? It means that there are certain things that you're going to not be able to eat again for a little while. So let us set in first, because some people you're steeped in your bad habits. Which are the easiest habits to get? All of us have them at some point in time, right? So you might like the coffee, you might like the fried chicken, you might like the pork ribs, you might like the pigtail. You know it, But you have to understand that those things, in conjunction with what you're working with, they're not friends. Because I always explain to persons that imbalance in the body comes about. Disease could only exist where inflammation exists. If you never know that, or you didn't know that, or you wasn't sure, well, you know it today. Research it, check it and see. Inflammatory response is the root cause of all disease. Therefore, if you are in a diseased state, how are you going to continue consuming food that increases your inflammation? Think about it. You have to put away those things for a little while. You don't think? You could never you have nothing on the planet that you could like more than yourself. Well, I would hope so. Apart from your children, maybe your mother, maybe your spouse. But you love yourself, right? So it means now that you need to take decisive action and stop certain things. Women, if you have really bad fibroids, you can't be eating chicken. Unless you have a backyard and you're mining some fowl in the back bay. You're giving them the little line bud. They just deal with fowl, right? When you're mining animals, you give them, they'd have a way to clean them out, to give them molasses, that type of thing. My great-grandmother used to take care of animals. So I have a fair idea of some of those things, right? So if that is your problem, no chicken. Sorry. Sad face, cry, bawl, nothing. Rest your licorice self. You cannot eat it. And again, I'm not saying licorice to be rude or anything like that, because in this particular case, you would be licorice because you're eating something that is doing a detriment to you. Simple common sense, right? There are no maths and physics in that. Easy. You can't be a smoker, have lung cancer, and still want to smoke cigarette. Although people just do that, eh? Somebody hit me a shot like that already, you know. And I kindly asked them to remove themselves from the office. I say, you have a very nice day. Because you can't have lung cancer, stage 4, and tell me you can't stop smoke cigarette. Well, what I'm going to tell you? You need an ex-doctor. Right? We ain't going through that. So that is what I'm trying to explain to you. You cannot have those issues and be consuming food that is contributing to your detriment. That is basically what it is, you know. It's not a matter, Dr. Batson, just feel to come on the radio, pay good money to come to tell you not to eat food because I feel not to tell you not to eat that. No, that's not the case. I had someone recently who was talking about what they were talking about, boy? Coffee. She said, Dr. Batson, what it is you telling me? The watch me the woman in our uproar in our office, they know. She gets like, but one madman they send me by, boy. She said, Dr. Batson, you telling me I can't drink coffee? I just drink coffee how much time for the day? I say, yeah, that's why you're sick. Plainly said. I said, that's why you're sick. Look at the issues, look how much tick. You nearly take the whole file here for me. Arthritis, acid reflux, constipation, because you're drinking coffee every day, multiple times for the day. You cannot do that. You cannot do it. No, you could do it, you know, but you're going to end up in a situation where it's not working. It's not Dr. Batson say it's not good enough. The evidence is there. You can't be eating large amounts of meat when you want your body to heal. We are fully aware, and let me of course make a mention. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Cindy Hoyt, Melissa Richards. Keep in mind our number for the Shogunas office. So Shogunas telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. Debe gets their marathon days, I have to say, because I can't say week, because Thursday, of course, you know, I wouldn't do a marathon day because Thursday is usually my programs, right? So Debe is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. Shogunas, of course, is going to be Wednesday coming here. Again, Tobago is going to be the 8th, most likely the 8th to the 13th, but definitely from the 8th going forward, right? And then we revisit again as regards to what we will do for St. James and Shogunas again. So we'll fix it accordingly, and I'll organize myself as I'm supposed to. Let me say a pleasant good morning to my very, very, very hard-working colleagues at Batson and Associates, every last one of you, from the people who do the food detox, from everyone who, you know, huge team. Let me say a pleasant good morning to everyone, each and every one of you, especially, and it's not like if they're more important than anybody else, but they basically are my hands at times, the consultants, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bustamante, and of course, Mr. Stefan Viava, and everyone at Batson and Associates who continue to work and ensure that we get people the help that they get. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning again. Keep in mind that number for Tobago. Tobago's telephone number is 226-4553. And we would have our blood analysis, dry blood, live blood, magnetic resonance analysis when we open in Tobago automatically, because all our services would not start immediately, which is why we did the opening, how we do it. And of course, as we organize ourselves and get all the equipment and everything, because I'm not waiting for those things. It doesn't make any sense. I keep back things because we work with what we have, which is going to give us the basics and the information that we need to have. And of course, let's get people the help that they need to get. I'll give you a very quick example before we go to the radio. To answer your questions, if you have any questions and that type of thing. So the telephone number for Shoguna's telephone number is 222, that's 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. And St. James number there is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. I do apologize to St. James on Friday. After that situation with those bombs, the traffic was so, I was like, this is making no sense at all. It was really ridiculous. So I do apologize for that. You're going to get a makeup day. which we're going to fix. I know the consultants that was there dealt with a lot of you, but there are one or two things that we may need to review, and that's what we're going to actually do for you. All right, guys. Tobago's number is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. And of course, we cannot forget our international clients. Our international clients, that telephone number is 1-868. That's 1-868-373-2388. So let me share this quick testimony with you guys, without giving too much information. But I was so elated about this because it only took this person 1 month to accomplish what it is we accomplished. And the thing is, they don't even have all that I recommended because they haven't gotten things like the nerve restore and the optimizer and that type of thing. So long and short story, this client came to me. They have a family member that lives in the United States. Person is in the 80s and they had some challenges, serious cardiovascular challenges. So, there were some situations when they did the echocardiogram, there were some things that they see. So, of course, the person is being monitored. They have a team working and that kind of thing. So when they went for another review, the doctors actually did a test. And when they did the test, there was a particular situation that was there where there was some blockages and bundles on the heart. 1 month on the program from Batson and Associates. That issue that was on the left there is completely cleared. Completely cleared. 1 month. And they don't have everything. And I told the individuals involved, I said, listen to me, because they're going to have to my apology, they're going to have to redo echocardiogram. And they have to redo the echocardiogram within a certain phase. So here what we're going to do, we're continuing, we're going to add, and I'm telling you, when they do the echocardiogram, they're going to say, here what, all I go from here, we don't need to do any surgery again. I guarantee you that. Based on the results that the individual got using the protocol that was recommended from Batson and Associates. You see, the thing is, a lot of the times, all it want is consistency, As I always tell people that. Consistency and discipline will always get you further than talent. Any athlete, any singer, anybody who's naturally talented, even with intelligence, you have to pick up a book. Even if you're naturally intelligent, if you had to do a course, you have to read the book. You might be gifted in person, you might have good retainers, you might be a speed reader, like myself. You have the ability, so you could read pretty quickly. So you grasp things quickly and that kind of thing. So you might naturally have specific abilities, but the discipline is what going to get you. The discipline and the consistency, and the same applies when you're making lifestyle changes. You can't be dehydrated like the desert in Saudi Arabia. You don't drink water at all. You're sick, all kind of thing wrong with you. And you expect you start to drink water, and then a week after, oh God, I ain't feeling good enough. This ain't working. You now start. And that is what you have to do. You now start. So again, keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. On TikTok, we are Dr. Batson. Keep in mind, you can check us out, like us, share us. Let me say a pleasant good morning to a lot of people came in since I was speaking. Name is Nicole Vanderpool. Pleasant good morning to you. She says, great info, Doc. Love your program. Miss Leslie Ann, good morning to you, Doctor. Wonderful day to you. Good program. Thanks again. Ms. Cheryl Cooper says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Which type of vitamin E is better to take? Tocotrienols, which is natural or synthetic? I'm going to have to check for you, but of course, we always prefer natural, as with everything. There are some synthetic things out there that I personally wouldn't even use, worse yet recommended for individuals. And, I'm very brand specific in what I use. I always tell persons that. Okay, Miss Maureen Pierre-Reed, a pleasant good morning to you. She says, Dr. Batson, can you please repeat the international phone number? Yes, the international phone number, of course, Trinidad area code 868, and then the number is 373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388. That's the number you can call to have your consultations, just like with that lady who is in the United States. Look how far she is. And when they were telling me, Dr. Batson, I will wait until to bring her. I said, wait to bring her? I said, girl, you is a mad lady, but you much thing could happen to your mother within that space at time. No. Do the consultation. Let me do the consultation. I had Miss Ramdan go over some stuff. I send the information right on WhatsApp. They send the reports. They send, watch me, when I work in, you know. I don't play games, you know. Because this is somebody who is how much 1,000 miles away and you need help. And we need to get the help and get the help. I can't wait for you to come in. No, 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 no. We don't do things so again. We live in a different world now, you know. There are things that you got to leave your house now to get surgery. I'm not performing surgery. It's simple information that I need to get as regards to the medication that you're on. What is your situation? Send me my reports. I'm going to review. When I review, I say, okay, this is what we're doing. Because in that particular case, let me tell you one of the things I was thinking. From the time I saw the case, I look at the age of the individual and everything. I say, first thing, I say, see what's going on here with moms? Moms has some magnesium deficiency. She have this. She have. I don't start to put the puzzle together to say here what. And I told her daughter, I say, Mom, this is what we're doing. Go and get this. Let it send it for you, deliver it, whatever the case may be, and start to get your mother better. And that is exactly what it is has started happening. I am so encouraged by that case, as usual. And that's not the only thing. There are a number of those that we have experienced, but I was just trying to help you to understand that if you're in a different part of the world, you don't sit down and wait to dead. Please, you can get help. We're not performing surgery, right? It is simply information with a properly targeted protocol for your specific issues at hand. And the consistency gave them the results that they got. They were consistent, and that is what I always tell people: consistency and discipline. So don't come to Batson and Associates and we tell you, yes, now start to drink water. You know the bad ways you had before. Or it may not necessarily have been bad ways. It's because there are a lot of people who do things and they don't know that it's bad for them. You know? I remember speaking to someone recently, and we were talking about processed meat. Now everybody knows processed meat, right? I go to make a joke. I go to say, by show of hands. Or everybody say, raise your hands to see if you know what processed meat is. Of course, I can't see you all, right? So that's why I say it was so funny. Yeah. So, you know what's processed meat? Sausage, bacon. Then you have different types of smoked meats and those type of things. And we know those taste really good, right? So we know the things that really taste good is the ones that usually not really bad for us, right? Or not good for us, rather. So processed meat is something that you need to be very, very careful of. If you have a lot of that in your diet, you are basically asking cancer. You're opening up your door, your windows, everything. You know, like when you air out your house. Yeah, when you do that, that's what you're telling cancer. Come in, come, take a seat, take a little drink. You're literally inviting them to move in your house. Please, Trinidad and Tobago, do not do yourself that. I'm a big advocate of cleansing and detoxifying, not because I just wanted to go and find a cleanser, make a cleanser, and tell people, hey, clean out. You know. I was not satisfied with anything that they had on the market. They had a set of thing to hurt up your belly and a set of tablet. I said, no. I can't go through this. I'll find something proper for people. And then we got Santulan. Easy to use, liquid effect. When I tell you, people love that product, they love it. I drink some this yesterday, and I get my bowel movement. Normal when I'm home in my house, good, comfortable. So the good thing about Santulan is you don't have to wait to take a clean out. Gone are the days of waiting to take a clean out, you know. If you ask yourself, when last you went on a vacation? Some of you, by a show of hands. When last you went on a vacation? I haven't gotten one in like about 6 years. But I mean, well, vacation that I would like to have. Let me put it like that. So it's not like I didn't get anything, but the one that I really wanted. Because I just have to cool myself because I have things to do. But the point I'm making, a lot of the times, you will not get time off to take your cleanse the way you want it because you want to take a 2 weeks and stay home and drink water and do this and that and all kind of thing at the liberty and comfort of your own house because you don't want to be using washroom all over the place. We know that. The thing is, Santulan gives you the opportunity to cleanse and still work. Ask anybody, ask all the people who ever use Santulan. Because I wanted it in such a way that it was easy to use, but it was also effective. And it also gave you the opportunity to do your cleanse even while you're working. How so? Let me explain quick and then we go into the radio, the telephone, the line, sorry. Santulan gives you a bowel movement 6 to 8 hours after you drink it. That is with me, personally. I have experienced with other people. Some people they'll go in the toilet with Santulan in 2 hours. So what I usually tell clients, drink your Santulan on a weekend when you're home, in your house. And you know how it will work for you. Most of the time, the first time, you'll get more gripe. You might get a little belly pain. You might get a little something. getting. And then after, like maybe about the third set you're on, the third set of glasses you drink or something, or maybe after the second pack, it becomes a little easier. So it's not like the product ain't working, but it's like all your rubbish come out. The thing is, Santulan is a product that you could also use as a maintenance product as regards to not allowing a lot of build up. Because you know yourself, you might be working night, and I actually have to do a program for everybody who working night just now. Because I find a lot of y'all working night and taking care of yourself, and a lot of y'all coming to us, which we're not complaining, we're working with depression, anxiety problems. Listen to me, if you're missing anyway, let me go down because I'll digress again. So, as regards to that situation there, where we're speaking about the detoxifying, you have a detoxifier. So call, get the information on Santulan. We also have Alkagen water, Nerve Restore, a product that I will love, love, love. I started back using the Restore, and oh, I now see why I like that product so much. The watchman, the sleep is amazing, 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 amazing. The type of results you get there. Optimizer we have as well, uterine formula. So remember, ladies, if you have a problem with polycystic ovaries, fibroids, painful menstrual cycle, you feel like something down there, it's like they're right. A lady, a female told me that, she said, Dr. Batson, I feel like something living here that's not supposed to be living here. So if you feel like you have things living in you, we dealing with that too. Okay, so give us a call. That telephone number again for the Shogunas office is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. So, Mr. Carter, sir, the ball is now in your court.
All right, if you're trying to get into Mr. Batson, that WhatsApp as usual is 333-9950. That's 333-9950. And those numbers to call are 625-2759 or 624-7729. Let me repeat that again. 625-2759 or 624-7729. Back to you, Dr. Batson.
Yes, sir. So again, let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Kamala Samaru. She says, good morning, Dr. Batson and all viewers. Miss Pamela Moses, as usual in the house. Good morning, Doc. Jenbury. Good morning. I use that product. Very good. Totally satisfied. So I believe she's making reference to the Jenbury. Which one you're making reference to? She also says the water is amazing. So I don't know if it was the water or the tea she was making reference to. Adelgun Harrington says, hey, Dr. B, thank you for sharing the knowledge to keep us healthy. You're welcome. Miss Heather Morgan Samuel, she says, any products do you recommend to you? Any products? All right, Miss Morgan Samuel, you need to be a little more, give me a little background there as regards to what you're speaking about. I don't know if you asked a question before and I didn't see it. Oh, Miss Jenbury says the cleanser. So she says, good morning, I use that product. Very good, totally satisfied. So she was making reference to the Santulan. Really, really good product. Right? Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Roses Dial. She says, good morning, Doc. What can you do naturally for fibroids? Much thanks. Okay. So, yeah. So as I was saying with the fibroids, well, one of the first things you need to do is check your diet. You cannot be using the chicken, the commercial chicken, because of the amount of steroids and antibiotics that it has in it. That automatically causes the problems with the fibroids in any case, much faster, accelerates it, right? Things like anything with estrogen, so phytoestrogen, so like for example, things like tofu and this thing too, soy. You need to be very careful. Soy will cause fibroids to get very, very big very quickly. Because soy is what? Soy is a phyto, which means what? Plant estrogen. So too much of it is very problematic, and then you have to be careful. A lot of the soy on the market is genetically modified, so you need to read your label and make sure it is not that one that you're consuming, right? Because in a lot of vegetarian persons and persons who may be vegan or we may use a lot of soy type products and end up in problems where they actually create more fibroids or more hormonal imbalance, not realizing how detrimental it is for them, for the mere fact that the food contains phytoestrogens, right, which are plant estrogens. Good. Look, even with young men, there's something known as gynecomastia, which is male breasts. And you've seen a lot of young men with it. And again, it's not something to be facetious and joke and laugh about, but it is a matter of, understanding that it is a hormonal imbalance situation triggered by diet, right? And there are a lot of people who tell you, no, that don't have anything to do with your diet. Lies. Don't let nobody fool you with that. You need to make some decisive changes as regards to what that is. Okay, so check out that uterine formula. Check out the that product was actually cis and fibroid formula before, but we eventually changed it because people was like, well, I don't have a cis, I don't have a fibroid, so why are you giving me this? So it's basically uterine formula. So you know anything for uterine and female hormonal health, that's what the product is for. All right, because again, if it is you're being given a protocol, you have to understand why you're being given what and understand why it is important to use it. Again, consistency and discipline. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Mr. Marvin Courtain. He says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Listening from Brooklyn. God bless you always. Thank you for all the information for both men and women. You're very welcome, sir. Ms. Jennifer Frank says, good morning, Doc. Can you share some of info on Celtic salt and cayenne pepper, please? Okay, I will do. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Great program as always. That's Miss Ingrid Ross. Michelle Cooper says thanks. Miss Pamela Phillip. Good morning, Dr. Batson. I saw Dr. Boodoo. Oh, good. Congratulations. I hope with that. And how was your experience, Miss Phillip? You could let me know. Good. So, guys, there's a next question too as well. So someone is asking. This is on the Instagram. Oh, as regards to. Okay, so someone is asking if you did an embolization already. So in other words, and I've seen this happen with a lot of women. Excuse me, they would do embolizations, which is actually cut the blood vessel leading to the fibroid. But fibroids usually come back all the time. Even women who have done myomectomies, where they remove the fibroids individually, years after or months after the fibroid comes back. You know why? Because you have the analogy that I always use with the mosquitoes. You'll remember that analogy, right? I said, if it is you have stagnant water in your yard, you have a bucket of water, you might have put a plant source or something, and you basically have that there, eventually you're going to experience mosquitoes, right? So what you're going to do? Call the Ministry of Health, let us spray, let us spray that thing that I can't. Well, I don't think that's something people should be smelling. Although they say it's safe for human scent, but well, humans, it's not dangerous to us, but I believe too much of that are going to be problematic. In any case, that's like when you spray those different types of pesticides and things. Those things not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be in close proximity with that. You open a room, whatever the case may be. Good. So the thing is, you have mosquitoes there because you have stagnant water. So the point is, even if it is you go and you get insecticide and you spray today, next week you'll have more mosquitoes. Why? Because the root source that is causing the mosquitoes is there, which is what? The stagnant water. So with women who do myomectomies and embolization, you're going to be in problems because they're going to come back because what? The water, the stagnant water is still there. The environment that is conducive to breeding mosquitoes, just as the environment that is conducive to making you sick, to giving you fibroids, to giving you polycystic ovaries, to giving you endometriosis, you have not changed that environment. Hence the reason why the fibroids will come back again. It's the same thing if you do triple bypass, which I always tell people personally is that type of surgery is not something you should be running to do. Triple bypass and things should be emergency surgery. When your heart is so blocked up that your body can't help you and you get a massive heart attack and no other choice in the matter. Now it might sound it just might sound bad that you might say, but how he's saying, you only should do that if it's an emergency, because those type of procedures, when you go into the human body, you expose the body to a number of things, Don't let nobody fool you and tell you it have something like a small surgery. I mean, they have surgeries that would be major, more major than others, but surgery is surgery. Anytime you enter the human body and there is an incision, there are two things that could possibly happen. One is infection, and the next one is blood clots. That's simple anatomy, and that's basic surgery. Basic. So don't be of the opinion that you could just go and take this out and fit this in. No, 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 no. There's only one foreign use part you could get. You could get foreign use for cars. It have no foreign use for the human being. Even if you get an organ transplant, no organ could or would work better than the original. God forbid if you're reaching a state where you have no other choice, and then you live how the old people have a saying, how you hang and swing. Yeah, Because that is essentially what's going to happen to you. You know, you will essentially be hanging. You will live, but your existence most of the time is miserable. And I mean, and that's plain talk bad manners. There are not people, I don't know who wants to suffer and live. Me personally, no, I can't deal with that. So I mean, you're not that, which is why I always tell people, take care of your kidneys, because when you have to deal with a dialysis machine, dialysis is not fun. Ask anybody who does dialyze. You ever go in a dialysis center and see what people just have to go through? That's not a nice thing to experience. It is not. And me saying this is not a nice thing doesn't take away from the fact that it helps people to survive, because that is essentially what it is, survival. Your quality of life, to me, is what is important to me and what is important to most people, you know? And that's why I tell persons, I look at health so important. I'm not saying that something can happen to you. God forbid you could walk out the road and get bounced down. God forbid. All kind of things can happen to you. Even if you're healthy, people tell you that you healthy, you're eating this, you're going in the gym, you're working out and all kind of thing, and you so stupid, you walk out the road and you get bounced down. So all that was for nothing. Really? That's your rationale? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. You want to enjoy. I said, because who likes to be tired? Nobody. Who likes to have headaches? Nobody. Which man you know want to suffer from erectile dysfunction? You man in your right mind, you going to see about your business and you there and your cap. No. You don't want that. Who want the heart block up? You don't want that. Who want to end up being diagnosed with colon cancer or colorectal cancer? You don't want that. Who want prostate cancer? It's not like we just go, but people don't understand. Disease is like going by a buffet. So think about this. Whenever you eat, put this in the back of your head. Every single time you eat, ask yourself the question. Now, it might sound like a hard question, it might sound like a stupid question, it might sound nonsensical, but I'll tell you anyway. If you, every time you eat, ask yourself, what I take, or sorry, what am I eating here? Is it beneficial to me or is it going to be dangerous? Ask yourself that. Every time you're eating something, ask yourself that. And you would be able to maybe follow the 80-20 rule. Well, you know what is the 80-20 rule, right? 80% good, proper nutrition, and the next 20% is a little bad. Mine is about 90-10. I find 20% is real plenty. Because when you check 20% are rubbish, it's plenty stupidness you could be eating. Eat a little fudge here, a little this here, a little thing, you drink a juice, you don't know. When you're done, and your belly just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we don't want that. So you're following, even if it is you have to start 50-50, we will live with that. But you have to do something because the objective is to reach 80-20. So if you know right now, you're in the reverse. So you're 20% good and 80% bad. So you just eat salad once a year. When it's Christmas, you eat a little Christmas salad. Salad don't see your plate, so. When eating green, you don't like. You don't like fruits. You don't like grains. You're putting yourself in problems. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Larissa McMayo Ford. A fancy name there, girl. Good morning. I have had a proper period since 2017. I have had 2 children since then, and I also had bleeding for 14 days, June 2022. I am on Depo-Provera as a form of contraception. I tried coming off the Depo in hopes of getting back a regular period, but it didn't work. Can my regular period return? Question. Of course it can. Definitely. What you may have to take into consideration, we have some hormonal imbalance, we have some changes. The thing is, usually when women who have hormonal imbalance problems like painful menstrual cycle, even things like little thickening of the uterine line and endometriosis, that kind of thing, usually when they start becoming intimate, right, so you get husband and boyfriend and thing, usually it tends to become easier because as a gynecologist friend of mine say, a uterus or a womb that is inactive is a problematic womb. So in other words, if you're not using your womb, you could end up in some problems, right? Now, in addition to that, usually when you give birth to children, it usually makes it easier. So if I find a female who may have very painful menstrual cycle after her first pregnancy, make baby thing, you're good because that tends to regulate it. The uterus has been used, right? Good. But regular periods can come back. But women have to also take into consideration, usually from the perspective of gynecology, most women, as you get older, you know, a period will change, right? Of course, common sense may be for book. So most women sometimes will start off with a period that is 7 days. And then what eventually happens, when you start getting the period now, it lessens from 7 to maybe 5 or 4 days. And that usually happens as you move closer to menopause, right? Or after pregnancy, that type of thing. You might find even the way you bleed is a little different. You know, you may have a little spotting, you may have something. But usually, the normalcy of your period could come back, especially with some of the protocols that we carry with at Batson Associates. So there's a product that we carry called Women's Formula, which we have gotten back. Again, Women's Formula, uterine plus female balance. We're working on getting that product again. That's a product I had loved a lot. And we also have a new female tea that we're going to be getting, because I had to do a tea because there was one that I had before and then we weren't getting it again, right? And I'm a huge advocate of teas, especially as it relates to women with hormonal challenges, because hot teas is very helpful for that area. Women, castor oil, I always tell you, you could use your castor oil packs, get your castor oil, you massage your uterus area there. Men, you get your tablespoon of coconut oil, your tablespoon of castor oil. And again, not trying to be graphic or anything here. You massage the inside of your thighs there, all by your scrotum, your member. That's a good thing, because what that actually does, it actually helps to remove it cleans the lymphatic system. And basic anatomy and physiology teaches you what? You have 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. I'll say it again. You have 7 channels in which waste leaves the body: your kidney, your colon, your bloodstream, your lymphatic system, your skin, and your lungs. Most people do not pay attention to their lymphatic system, and that is why they end up in problems. Because your lymphatic system, after your gastrointestinal system, the fight between the next most important system, as I always tell people, is between your central nervous system, cardiovascular system, lymphatic system. Them 3 fellas fighting for second place. Your lymphatic system is very, very important, especially as it relates to cancers. So men, it ain't taking nothing out of you. That's something you could be in your privacy of your house and do. Please do something to help all yourselves, because I'm getting a lot of people now with this prostate cancer. It is ridiculous. It is not even, I'm not even getting BPH, which is benign prostatic hyperplasia. I'm getting that again. You know? I'm getting prostate cancer, 4th stage, 5th stage. And gentlemen, I've talked to all you already. When it is you see you reach a certain age, you're starting to get a little older, brother man, take care of yourself. Check yourself. Well, there's some good wife and woman behind all of them. Woman and them is going to go. They will go to the ends of the earth for you. Mix your little thing, give you a little. Take care of yourself, brother man. Take care of yourself. Because let me tell you something. When they remove your prostate, I don't care who your doctor is and what they tell you, you know, you are going to end up with an erection problem. Now, some people might say they're old already, and you know, well, Dr.Batson, you know, as an old man already, you know, I had enough in my days, or whatever the case may be. Okay, good. You might have enough. Your wife mightn't didn't have enough. You're talking for yourself. If you have a partner, what's going on there? So, fellas, mind your business. Get your little castor oil, your coconut oil, and rub down yourself. Follow these big people here. You could let your wife do it for you. Or I don't know, you could do something with that. I don't know. But make sure and do it, because it does help. And a client who had his testes was swollen, you know. If you see the ultrasound, if you see it now, and that is what I told him to do. A half teaspoon coconut oil, half teaspoon castor oil. You mix it together, you heat it a little bit. The castor oil you're using is the black Jamaican castor oil. We'll be getting a line of castor oil just now. That's like in about the next 2 months. We see now about that. And massage yourself, fellas. I am telling you, you will see a complete difference. You keep doing that. Do that for a good month. You're even getting better erection with that. To have even some exercises you could go and do to improve circulation. When I tell you, it have thing for everything. Putting it in as colloquial as I could put it. It have thing for everything. If your eye ain't good, we are thing for your eye. Your brain ain't good, you feel like you're a little mad, which must be the whole of Trinidad, we are thing for that too. You're not sleeping, we are thing for that. Depression, We are thinking for that. But you have to understand, because you see, the thing is, I don't want it to get a quick fix. We don't have a quick fix, no. I'm not in that quick fix nonsense. What it is we're going to do is try to help you to have a better quality of life. You're bound to come back at Batson and Associates when we finish with you. You could go and do your thing however you want. But you have some knowledge to help you to take better care of yourself. Good? Ms. Lauren Forbes says, hey, Dr. Batson, now waiting your trip to Tobago. Yes, my dear. So keep in mind, we will be in Tobago, God's willing, from the 8th. Myself and some of my team going over there. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Latoya, who is always working very hard in that Tobago office there. She moved into a new home. She was happy, yeah. That was a process in itself, but that's life for you. Ms. Sharon Theodore on our Facebook says, Dr. Batson, if someone has a constant burping, what is causing that problem? Now, if it is you belching every minute, you're losing your manners, you can't go a little dinner and sit down with proper people, they're looking like you're behaving like you escape. No. Gastrointestinal problems. So you're looking at alkagen water, santulan, gastro tea, real good tea for gastrointestinal problems. What made that tea work so good? We had people who was on Nexium, Pantecta, Omeprazole, Pantopral, and those are acid blockers. And listen to me, you're not supposed to be on acid blockers for any extended period of time. Your gastrointestinal system would not forgive you. That and antibiotics. And someone recently came to me, there was an antibiotic for 4 months. I say, you sit down and let a doctor give you antibiotics for 4 months? That's too much. That's too much. I don't care what you're dealing with. And even if it is, let's say, because even if we're dealing with sepsis, 4 months of antibiotics is still too much. I deal with people with sepsis and we finish them in a month time. You get the antibiotics. The consultant doctor who worked with me, we put antibiotics for 1 month and I gave them a protocol to use with the antibiotics. And I sepsis. People don't live, because dead when you have that. So why, in a month time, so why are you giving somebody antibiotics for 4 months? That's too much, in my humble esteemed opinion. If I see all the information, then I might be, but still, just off the top of my head, that's too much. And that's one of the things that you need to pay attention to. So, gentlemen, even though we're talking about the ladies today, if it is your no, you haven't checked your prostate, you want to make sure and take care of yourself, fellas. You want to check yourself, because how the party to start, that party to start innocent, The party to start, you go by the doctor. Now, and a lot of people do not experience problems like stoppage of water and that type of thing. Smith Suzette Dempster says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Any Santulan Slim? No, not yet. Santulan Slim is here, but we just had some approvals we're waiting on. So once we get that, you're in the game there. Yeah, so it means, gentlemen, that you have to check. You have to check, fellas. This prostate thing getting serious. And the thing is, when it gets so bad, you could imagine you get up to urinate and you cannot urinate. Fellas, think about that. And if you don't know what a catheter is, go on YouTube and look at a catheter. Go on the image part of YouTube and search catheter. I will spell it for you just now. You go and search that, and that is what it is taken and insert inside of you. And you have to use that with a bag on the side of you for a period of time. Wouldn't you, in hindsight, if you're in that situation, if you had information before to be proactive, as opposed to waiting for that to happen to you, what you would do? Not utilize the information. So what are you really doing, men? What are you really doing? They get only a set a biopsy. Every minute you go, prostate biopsy. Why it is you going to give? Why you want to do that? To see what? Why you can't do a CT? Why you can't do a transrectal ultrasound? Why you can't do a MRI? No, but they want to do a biopsy. So you're going to decide to go in me and cut out 12 pieces. Am I good prostate? To go to check it to tell me if it's cancerous or not. Now tell me, how that making sense? And I'm in total disagreement at that procedure. And there are many very well-educated people who would disagree with me, and I have no problem with that. We'll agree to disagree because I'm well-educated too. Do not I'm telling you, take a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion with that. Do not be running about the place and do biopsies. Do not do it. You're going to end up in problems. Infection, and let me tell you something. People don't understand infection. Before I continue, let me just give you the telephone numbers and go back to Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, you want to repeat that WhatsApp number? Or you have any questions as yet?
All right, that WhatsApp number is 333-9950. That's 333-9950. And yes, we actually have a couple questions.
Okay, good. So let's take the questions.
Okay, there's a phone call coming, so let's take that phone call.
Okay, no problem.
Hello, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing? Tobago, boy. His boss. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Repeat that, sorry? I didn't hear. Well, if I tell you something, between you and I, the royal jelly, we get it, but again, I'm waiting on like about two approvals there. So as I said, we have things already, we're just waiting. So I estimate maybe about 2 weeks, God's willing, a month for the most, and that's it. We clear with Santulan Slim, the royal jelly, and some other products that we were waiting on there. So you're in the game. Give me 2 weeks, a month for the most, 4 weeks for the most, and that's it. Yeah. Come in, I can't forget all you, man. I just wanted our office to finish and get certain things off the ground. So I come in hopefully from the 8th to the 13th, and then where we run in accordingly. I go fix all it to suit, man. Don't worry yourself. I could never forget Tobago. Our people, our clients there who, yeah.
All right, we have another call, Dr. Batson.
Yes.
Live. Yes,
Yeah,
good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I would like to speak to Mr. Batson. Yes, 4.8 problem.
Go again?
Like to get 4.8.
So you get 4.8 on 4. Okay, so 4.8 is a reading on what report?
Kidney ultrasound.
The kidney ultrasound, they tell you that you have something 4.8. What are they talking about? A stone? They're talking about, what's that? Tell me.
Or something.
Oh, your kidney gone. So what you do? You do a ultrasound and a blood test?
And the urine.
And the urine test. And the doctor tell you that your kidney gone.
Well, the 4.8.
Oh, they must be telling you, all right, the stage, you're somewhere about 4.8. So you're close to, you're between 4 and 5 then. So what they must be referring to is you must do something called a GFR, which is the glomerular filtration rate, and it will give you a figure, and the kidney must be most likely falling in between 4 and 5. That's the only rationale I could think of. In tomorrow I'm working day though, South Office. Which office you would have preferred to see me? Debe or Shagonas? Oh, 11:13 Debe tomorrow, please God.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Well, you're in the game then. Just bring everything for me, right? Bring all the reports, blood tests, everything. Every single thing you have, where your health is concerned, report-wise, bring it for me. Medical, everything. If you have ultrasound, yeah, bloods, everything. You bring everything for me. All right? Tomorrow, God's willing.
All right, we have another phone call.
Yeah.
Good
morning, sir.
Good morning to everyone on file. When I check in the doctors and the Jamaican blood cancer,
right? What is that one is for you here?
Because
yeah. No, that's not true. Castor oil is mostly used a lot of the time in persons' hair. You could use any castor oil in your hair, right? But the black Jamaican castor oil is a particular type of castor oil. But here what I'll do, because I have somebody who organizing something for me in about, I will get, because I know you would have gotten the black Jamaican one. But I think now because it become popular, it kind of have a shortage. You're not getting it as much as you want. But the one that they're telling you, sorry? No, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. That's something we had a source. It's just a matter of bringing in more, because people now know, so a lot of people using it. Right? So, but the one that they tell you is for hair alone, unless it has specific ingredients added to the castor oil other than the castor oil. But once it's castor oil alone, no, you could use it. You could use it. And your carrier oils is normally coconut oil, olive oil. Yeah, well, coconut and olive oil is the two. I prefer coconut because I find you get a better in terms of the texture now, because castor oil is a thicker oil. Right? So that's the reason why you mix it. But what castor oil have, what make it so advantageous is that it helps your lymphatic system. So it's even a good thing for you to put on the arm, women especially, men, as I say, close to your prostate, your lower abdomen there, all by your navel, under your navel there. So when you rub that, what it does, it actually helps to clean the blood vessels in that area. So it even improve, as I say, improve circulation. So you can improve erection, help to have a healthier prostate in general. All right, brother. So I'm working on that. So just now, Batson and Associates will have, but once it's castor oil itself, and it does not have any other additives like castor oil mixed with maybe some fancy oil for your hair, like maybe jojoba or something like that, and it's just pure castor oil, you could use it. It's not a problem. Authentic castor oil? Well, yeah. You're good with that, eh? All right, boss? Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that's a good thing. We just have to care for because those ingredients is blood pressure lowering ingredients. Remember, aloes this lower your blood pressure as well as ratchet. Ratchet could carry down your pressure too. So once you know you don't have a pressure situation with low pressure and you do it, maybe once a week, depending on how then you don't have a problem. Yeah, like do it out. Well, it depends. It depends on your measurement. What kind of measurement you're looking at using? Right. Right. And you're drinking that in one shot? All right. Now, well, if you're doing it like that, yeah, that's about once a week. Once a week, once every 2 weeks. Yeah, because that's a strong thing. But it's a very good thing. Because remember, it's aloes. I don't know what size aloes, but all the aloes I have real big. So if I use a leaf aloes, like real aloes, So you gotta watch that. If it's a medium size leaf or a small leaf, if you understand what I'm saying, yeah, the thing. Because the only challenge with that is that that ingredient profile is a blood pressure lowering profile. So depending on how it is, if you use too much, it could cause your blood pressure to go down. You understand what I'm saying? So in a case like that, I would say what you could maybe do is do the mixture. Because everybody is talking about fresh, but I mean, once you put something in a glass bottle and you keep it in a refrigerator, you'll get something out of it still. So if you maybe do it like that, blend it, but do drink all one time, and you maybe split it up in 3 drinks. So you drink a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday kind of situation, and then you're done with that. Until you do it next time. You follow me?
All right, lost that call.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So that's what I was basically saying, boss. Because if you're using aloes that big, that's a good side of aloes. So I mean, and aloes is something that you have to be careful. You could aloes is a bleeder, right? So the mixture is a good mixture, but I just think maybe the dosage is a little too high. So I would take the mixture, put it in the refrigerator, separate it in 3 parts. So you drink a 3rd Monday, you drink maybe a 3rd Wednesday, and a 3rd Friday. And you should be okay with that. Plenty water, and you're good to go. All right. Any more questions, Mr. Carter?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone is asking, can someone take the inflammation formula.
Right.
Is that inflation? The inflation, I think they mentioned.
Inflammation. Yeah, there's a product we have called inflammation formula. So they're asking if it is.
That they can take the inflammation formula.
Right.
The
Right.
CMD. And they're asking if they can take it AM and PM, or how should they take it?
Yeah, they could. So normally when we recommend advanced chlorophyll and inflammation formula, the dosage for those most of the time, unless we stipulate it based on a specific condition, but most people with any condition could use it like that. It would be 1 tablespoon of inflammation formula added to 1 tablespoon of advanced chlorophyll in 8 ounces, 8 to 10 ounces of water, and you drink that in the morning and in the night. So it would basically be 2 tablespoons added to 8 to 12 ounces of water, and you drink that on an empty stomach. An empty stomach, i.e., is basically an hour before or 2 hours after a meal. And once you do that, you don't have a problem. All right? Let me just touch this question very quickly, Mr. Carter. So let me say again a pleasant good morning. We are live on our social media platform. So those of you who do not have us on social media as yet, it would be very nice if you can add us. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Dr. Batson. And the advantage of that is, of course, you have access to all our lives, a lot of information when we have promotions, right? The question is being asked. Good morning, Dr. Batson. This is on Instagram. All right. The person is saying, good morning, Dr. Batson. The pressure in someone's eye is 17 and 18 respectively. Are these numbers good as it relates to glaucoma? Excellent question. So the numbers are good, yes, as it relates, but they can be better. So when we're talking about glaucoma, we're talking about something that is known as your ocular pressure. So there's pressure in your eye, right and left. Most of the time, the right and left is not the same thing. They may be off by a little bit. Your good numbers, you always want your pressure in your eyes to be on the highest side, maybe about 15. On the lowest side, about 12 to 10. You don't ever want it to go lower than that. Because I've experienced persons who may have done surgical procedures and then the pressure in the eye went down too low. I only experienced that with one individual though, right? So 17, 18. What I would suggest, there's a product we carry called Eye Optics Formula, which is an all-natural eye drop. This was a product that I did a lot of work with too. And this product actually helps as an eyes cleanser because of that detox for the eyes. And it also helps to improve circulation in the brain, which is the cerebral, what is known as the cerebrovascular system, which is primarily your brain, and the amount of blood flow taking place in your brain, the amount of oxygen. Remember, cells give you tissues, tissues give you organs, organs give you organ systems, and organ systems give you the body. So when you're looking at your central nervous system, which comprises your eyes as well, you have to ensure that the blood circulation going to your brain is optimal in order to have improved eyesight. So if you have poor circulation to your brain, your eyesight wouldn't be good. Simple common sense, right? So eye optics formula is something you should look at. We also have the IT. As you all realize, I'm a fanatic when it comes to teas because I believe it's one of the easiest way for people to be healthy, just by actually drinking a cup of hot beverage that can help you on a daily basis. Hence the reason why the Chinese, the Japanese, and people of that particular ethnicity and practice usually experience the kind of health that they do because they use a lot of teas. Teas consist of something known as tannins, tannins, and that's what leaves their color. So you have different type of teas, right? You have black teas, you have green teas. There's a wide range that we carry, and that range is getting even bigger and bigger. Some nice surprises for you guys, but I don't want to talk about them too quick. But I'm talking about proper tea. Good. And I like wild crafted teas a lot. So I do like the tea bags, but you see the wild ones that way actually have like the bush in your cup. I actually prefer that a lot. Because I think you get a lot of, vigor from that still. As regards to circulation, we do have circulation tea in stock. That tea, of course, is very popular because it is very effective. Excuse me. So that's something you could also check out as well. Miss Frederica Joseph says, good morning, Dr. Batson and Associates and all the listeners. Great topic. Hello to Miss Roma and DB Office. Thank you. God's blessing to you all. Thank you so very much. Jazzy Janice Innes says, sweetness Neptune, yes. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, Jazzy Janice Innes says, I really love how you, the doctor, takes his time and pronounces words during each and every show. Yeah. My English teacher would be proud. I tried my best. Thank you so very much for that. Good. So keep in mind again that number for the Shogunas office. That number is 222-8261. So Shogunas actually has their marathon day. So keep in mind Shogunas does have marathon days going on this week as well. Where you can have your blood analysis done, you can have your magnetic resonance analysis done, and of course we have our consultants there. We have Miss Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Stefan Vialva. Yeah, and of course, I will be in Shogunas on Wednesday, God's willing. Okay. So that is something that you could also take advantage of. Keep in mind, Day is Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday of next week, God's willing. Okay. That number again for the Shogunas office, so you can call, make your appointments. That telephone number for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. Debe again is 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. And of course, Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. I'll be in Tobago, God's willing. Me and my team, we should be there from the 8th, and we go most likely until the 13th. But we organize accordingly. Most important, we're going to be there. I guarantee you that. Okay. Nikita Thomas says, good morning, sir. Can your IT help with the pterygium condition? It can help. I would strongly recommend that you use it together with the eye drop, the eye optics formula. For those of you listening, the person is asking about pterygium, which is actually spelled P as in Paul, T as in Trinidad, ERYGIUM. And pterygium is actually a growth on the eyes. You usually find people who involved in jobs with chemicals or people who deal with a lot of dust, i.e. seamstresses, tailors, upholsterers, masons, people who deal with jewelry, hairdressers. You usually find that they tend to get pterygium, which is actually a growth on there's a build-up on the eye itself. Usually it's recommended to be cut, but of course, because of the close proximity of the eyes and the nerves, I am not really an advocate of the cutting. And if you have no choice in the matter, no problem. But I have dealt with a lot of people with pterygium, and that eye optics formula together with the IT actually help them. If you're looking to improve blood circulation to your brain as regards to your eyesight, especially, Optimizer and anthocyanin complex is actually something that you should look at. Very, very good product. Okay. Okay, so it says, yes, my eye pressure went down by 7 in the right eye. So this is Miss Frederica Joseph. And she said, yes, my eye pressure went down by 7 in the right eye and 5 in the left eye after using eye optics formula and the eye teas. I can see clearer now. My doctor is amazed. Thank you, Dr. Batson. That's Miss Frederica Joseph. I believe she's a overseas client. Miss Frederica, you could always remind us where you're from again. Miss Sharon Theodore says, Dr. Batson, I was asking for a friend. A doctor told her it is caused by stress. Doctor, can you give us an hour tonight, please? Hey, like you you preempt was going to ask Shakil, but anyway, we will discuss that. We will see what we're doing. I have to talk to Shakil first. All right. Miss Lansdre says, I'm getting a lot of body pains and seeing blurry. How much water do you drink, my dear? First question. How much water do you drink? All right, Miss Frederica Joseph says she's from New York. Okay. So you all see, Miss Frederica Joseph is quite in New York, and she got results with us with her eyes. All right. And she's quite in New York. She could have said, Dr. Batson, now waiting to come and see her. Okay, so those telephone numbers again, 222-8261. Keep in mind the number for our international clients, which is 868-373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388. Over to you, Mr. Carter.
Yes, we have someone asking, I have prepared the olive oil with reason how much to take and how often. That's one question. The second question, what can be done in the meanwhile for stage 2 ovarian cancer? My aunt has surgery in 3 months.
Okay. Okay, well, with the olive oil and the raisins mixed here is 1 to 2 tablespoons in a cup or a glass of warm water every day, daily. That's that. As regards to stage, they said it what? It's stage 4 ovarian cancer or 3?
Ovarian cancer.
Stage 2.
Yes.
And they said that she has surgery in what, 3 months?
Yes, 3 months, yeah.
Okay, well, they needed to to give some more information on that. What surgery she having? Is that they're going to remove her womb? They need to give me more information on that. What I would say though, as regards to, I believe when you're dealing with cancer, any type of cancer, and regardless of the route that you decide to take, because as I always tell you all, I'm not in the politics. Nobody can go and say, oh, Dr. Batson tell them not to do chemotherapy and radiation. No, I'm not in that foolishness. That's a decision. I provide information for you. You make a decision for yourself. And that's why I always tell people, you have skin in the game, right? So the thing is, what I can tell you is this. Ensure that you have a proper diet that is designed to fight cancer. And if you want Batson and Associates to do that for you, we have no problem. You can get a consultation. We could prepare your diet, your supplement, protocol, everything for you with cancer. And I'm telling you, you're going to be in a better position. Why? Whenever you are dealing with cancer, any type of cancer, your immune system is vitally important to winning that battle. And unfortunately, Western doctors don't look at that. But you have to look at it. Because in the final analysis, is you have to take, the walk is your walk, you know. As I always tell people that, you know. You'll always get advice. The world will have things to tell you when you're sick. Everybody's a specialist when something wrong with you. Girl, drink this. Boy, use this. Put coal in your eye. Put this in your eye. Do that. And I'm telling people, you need to be very careful what you're using and how you're using it. Because at the end of the day, we need to be responsible because we're dealing with things that people have to ingest. They think people have to go, this going inside of you, you know. So we have to make sure that whatever recommendation you are getting, it makes sense. We'll have disagreements and we respect that as regards to the medical fraternity. And I have no excuse that because I'm not arguing with anybody. They're in an argument with themselves. I'm not arguing with anybody. But what I'm saying to you, you need to have a protocol that is designed to give you the best fighting chance. And unfortunately, most people who get cancer and who do chemotherapy and radiation, which that's your choice, they do not stand a fighting chance because their nutrition is zero. Absolutely and totally zero. You cannot be dealing with cancer. You cannot be taking chemotherapy and radiation and not treating your body from a nutritional perspective. If you are still doing that, plain talk, bad manners, you have no sense. They say there's no such thing as a stupid question, you know, but I think a stupid people asking question. And I mean, you ain't really supposed to call anybody stupid. But I mean, if you do something that people just do stupidness. And the point I'm making is that you need to get your diet intact. I remember carefully dealing with someone, it could have been some months ago, was a cancer patient. And she blatantly told me that the doctors told her she could eat anything that she wants. And I in turn told her that if I am dealing with you, all I am simply saying to you, my dear, that makes absolutely no sense. How could that make sense? If you are sick, could you eat badly or should you eat badly? If you're sick, think about it. Think about it. If you want to lose weight, we ain't even going cancer, we're going simple. You're looking to lose weight, you find you're getting too fat, you're too heavy. What you just do? Not eat differently, not drink more water, not exercise. So if you have cancer, this is not the cold, you know. You don't have the cold, you're not right. You are cancer, you know. What it is you think to put the odds in your favor, one of the things, you forget everything else. Prayers, as I always tell people that, because spirituality is important. You kneel down and say your prayers. You don't bother with nobody. And the nutrition aspect of that. You have to do that. Because mentally, you're fighting, you know. Cancer is a mental war, you know. Because you have a whole set of people talking in your ears. Children, daughter, mother, sister, everybody in your ears. Girl, do this. Boy, do this. And them could say what they want because they don't have what you have. As I always tell people that. You do not have what I have. You do not know the experience that I am going through. So all they could do is recommend. And I always tell persons, when I sit on the other side of the table as the consultant, I am empathetic in terms of what they're going through. But I always tell them that you need to keep a steady head because you're going to get a lot of advice. People are going to tell you all kind of thing. They're going to tell you, cut out this, take a bone marrow transplant, pull out your lungs, do this, do that. So you have to understand what it is you're dealing with. And in order for you to understand what you're dealing with, you need to arm yourself with what? Information. And that's the unfortunate thing. A lot of people do not have information. And plenty of them just talk out of their nostrils half of the time. So I'm saying that to say this again. Nutrition is your friend. If you want proper nutrition and you want someone who is properly trained in clinical nutrition, which is myself and my organization, then I will help you. But you cannot have cancer and not eat different and build an arsenal to help you. You wouldn't make it. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. I ain't see this once, I ain't see it twice, I ain't see it 100 times, I ain't see it 200 times. I see thousands of times. You have to give your body a fighting chance. And the only way your body can have a fighting chance in any problem that you have. There was a lady who came to our office. I'll tell her this. My niece was telling me this recently. She was saying, Uncle Jason, well, Dr. Batson, for work, Uncle Jason for home. She said, there was this lady who came to us. You saw Miss So-and-so? I said, yeah, girl, I saw her, you know. She said, you see how that lady was looking when she came to us? Watch me, this person couldn't come up the stairs, you know, because you all know Shogunas is our first floor, right? She couldn't come up the stairs. Somebody had to bring her up the stairs. And in 3 weeks' time, that lady came back. You know, she's come up the stairs herself. She go to the washroom for herself, certain things. There are people who come to us when they do the foot detox. That thing that people say, oh, it's not real and it's not this and it's not that. Nonsense, because they don't know what they're talking. You know what happened? They walk faster because you already start to get results. But you have to give your body what your body needs. You ain't doing no work, you know, Dr. Batson don't heal nobody, you know. Don't get mixed up and tie up, you know. It's not me, I don't heal nobody. I don't have that ability. It's God doing that. All I doing is giving you the information. I fit in the puzzle together for you. Before we frame the puzzle, I put in that puzzle together for you. I say, listen to me. You have some problems with your hormones. You have some problems with your gastrointestinal system. You need to take this, take this, take this. And I am telling you, when you listen, you just get better. Don't come to me. I'm not saying I know everything, but you don't come to me and try to tell me how to do my work better. No, I'm open to suggestions. I'm not saying no. But you don't come. I remember talking to someone recently. Last point I'll make before we go back to the lines. And they called me, and it was a courtesy call because somebody who I dealt with got really good results and I give them. So I, with my good-hearted self, take the call and I talk to this person. Must be for an hour. My phone, you know. I make the call, you know, so I pay for the call. But me studying that because I wanted to get help. And then this person had the audacity in the whole long of the conversation, eventually, when I made a recommendation to them, they called me in the morning and tell me they're not using the recommendation because so. So they already kind of start off bad already because, oh, they don't believe in this and something. So if you don't believe in this, why are you here? Why you call me? So, you know, that is just to say that it is very unfortunate that there are a lot of people out there, for whatever reason, they do is either they don't know, some people don't care, and that's no problem. But there are some people who genuinely want help. And that's the people who I'm dealing with. I'm not dealing with anybody who come in. You don't come by me for me to prove nothing to you. You're mad? My days for doing anything done. And I'll prove nothing to nobody. To anyone, rather. What it is you have to do, this is what we're doing. This is how you're doing it. Come back and check, man. Watch me. When I tell you results like that. So let me get the job done now. If it is you know you have a problem with, is that right? Is your back hot in here? You can't sleep in the night? We fixing that. You know your prostate giving you some trouble, gentlemen. Do not be going and dig up inside of your prostate. Do not let anybody tell you not more, no biopsy. I will argue that point to the last. I do not like it. I do not see the reason why they just do people that. But again, different. And I am not the only doctor who disagree with biopsy. Yeah? There are medical doctors. I'm talking about some very bright people out of Trinidad. I'm not saying that we don't have bright people here, but I'm talking about surgical specialists who work at places like Johns Hopkins and proper university, who will agree with what it is I just tell you all. You do not go about doing biopsies on people. These Trinidadian doctors just overdo this nonsense. Everybody, they want a biopsy. I had a client recently to tell her she need to do a lung biopsy. Why you going and do a biopsy on somebody's lungs? And that's a dangerous procedure. It's a needle you have to take. You know how big that needle is and where that needle had to pass. It's real dancing. You have to dance between organs. That's a 50-50 chance. You could puncture somebody's lungs doing that. Why are you going to take a biopsy of your lungs? Do a CT scan or do a MRI? Why are you doing that? And some of it dotish, had no sense going and do it. And when I'm done, I'm more sick than anything else. I will continue to disagree with biopsies. I do not like it. Again, it is my professional opinion. There are a lot of people who, just as educated or maybe even more, who will disagree with me. Fine, we'll agree to disagree. But I do not see the sense in it. You get a proper CT, you get a proper MRI, you get a CT with contrast, which we know have some invasive thing, but we could still clean up that. But when you do biopsy, you open yourself up to a bag of That's too much. They're taking biopsy for anything now. Taking biopsy of prostate, they're taking biopsy of your thyroid, lung biopsy. They want to take out, imagine I had a client recently, they want to cut out a piece of your spine. How you want to go and do a bone biopsy? Really? Really? Come on, man. That is, you went to school and that is all they teach you to do. That's the best set of common sense you have. Why are you doing that? And let me tell you something, that individual who are speaking about, that they did that too. You know, when we worked on that, watch me, if you see the results that person have, exceptionally good results. Little one or two little things, but great results. Because Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5, you cannot eat what you want when you want to be better and to be healthy. You cannot do it. You fighting a law that you're fighting a fight you can't win. I always use the analogy with gravity. Gravity is a law, you know. It is a law. Regardless of how talented you are, planes we know defy gravity, but there are certain things that they have. If planes don't have specific aspects of in terms of aviation and dynamics associated with physics and that kind of thing, a plane can't fly no way. It is a law. So there are laws of anatomy and physiology if you do understand that. And I always say I respect doctors. I may not agree with them all the time, but respect is respect, and disrespect is just that, disrespect. And I try my best not to disrespect anybody. Because if you disrespect me, most likely you're going to get it back. Or I will just ignore you, whatever with you. But I'm just saying that to say, stop asking people who cannot help you with nutrition about nutrition. Do not ask doctors if you could take zinc, if you could take selenium, if you could take coconut. Do not ask them because they can't answer you. Right? What they're supposed to say is, listen to me, boss. Ma'am, I really don't know anything about that to know. I suggest you get somebody who could help you, whether it's a nutritionist, whatever the case may be. Or go by Batson and Associates. Because in the final analysis, you're sick. And you're not supposed to be sick for any extended period of time. If you got COVID and you had COVID for a year, you would not be worried. If you have the cold and you have the common cold for months, you wouldn't be worried. If you have a cough or a sneeze that lasts in months, you're starting to get worried. You say, well, the hell, I dying or something? Possibly you are. The point is, if you're sick, there's a reason why you are sick. You may not like the reason why you're sick, and you may not like what you may have to do to get better, but there's a decision that you and you alone could make. Dr. Batson can't make that decision for you. You have to make that decision for yourself. But the reason why we have such an excellent track record, which I believe we about 98% of my clients is get better. Our clients is get better. Because of the work that we put in with them and they understand you. And watch me, the people who are consistent are the people who get the results. All the testimonies I have is people who have been consistent. They may not have been consistent in terms of the amount of money that they could spend on them, but they was consistent. Even if it's a circulation tea, even if it's a little something. Because I ain't put no money in nobody's pocket. And I know what's going on with the economy. Not everybody have. We understand that. Everybody, all are we biting and doing things and doing what we have to do. But in the final analysis, you have to stay alive for somebody. You have to stay alive, whether it's for your mother, your daughter, your son, your wife, you have to live for somebody. You think, God forbid, if it is you leave here now, what's going on with your children? What's going on with your husband? What going on? I mean, we don't know. We don't control the hands at time. They're in God's hands. But if you could stack the odds in your favor, where you're in a better position to help yourself and help your family, You think? I tell somebody that the other day, I say you have 2 children to live for, boy. You can't dead now, your mother what? Come, let me fix this. So that is what you have to do, Trinidad and Tobago. All right. Miss Jacqueline Burridge says, so very true, doctor. Mr. Raymond John says, good morning, Batson and Associates, and to all on live. Miss Bernadette Delwyn Carter says, blessings, Dr. Batson, grace and peace. Need to know what we can. Oh, God, let's send a message like that here now, boy. Blessings, Dr. Batson, grace and peace. Need to know what we use. No, what we use the olive oil and raisins I use for. Thank you. Came in a little late. Oh, okay. Oh, so she was asking about why the olive oil and raisins was recommended. That's a cleanser. It's actually a very good cleanser for your liver. It also helps to do some work with your cardiovascular system. Very good for your gastrointestinal system. So it's a nice, cheap, well, cheap-ish, because olive oil, a little pricey, good olive oil. But it's a very nice way to keep yourself healthy, Trinidad and Tobago. And I will say it again for those of you who may not have heard what it is. It is a cleanse where you get raisins. I personally like the dark raisins I use. Or you could use the brown ones. I use both of them at a time, and I find the brown one tastes a little better. But I mean, it was not about the taste for me, right? So you're taking 1 cup of raisins, you wash it out, you throw it in like maybe Pyrex or glass. We know we're not using no plastic, right, guys? Stainless steel or something like that, right? And you take a cup of hot water and you throw it on the raisins enough to cover the raisins. So you're not drowning the raisins, just a cover. And you're leaving the raisins there for 24 hours. So you have to cover it. So you want a little ferment, it will swell and thing. That is what you want. And when that happens, you take the raisins now, you do have a little water, but all them raisins supposed to be full of water now because they're supposed to be swollen, right? And you throw it inside an osterizer and you take, or blender as they call it, and you take a cup of olive oil, you throw it in that and you blend, you osterize everything there now. And that mixture now, which is going to be thick and oily, you throw it in a glass bottle and you put it in your fridge and you take 2 tablespoons on an empty stomach in the morning in warm water. Now, that is going to send you to the washroom in some cases. So I just tell people, experiment like on the weekend, use it. And then if you find you're getting bowel movement, if you use like 2 tablespoons, well, then less it down to 1 teaspoon. You just may need to use it over a longer period of time. And then your body get accustomed. But it is a detoxifier. And if it is, you have something inside of it that needs to come out, especially liver-wise, it is going to come out. All right. So that is a nice way of trying to do some good for your body there, right? Miss Beverly Singh, what can I use to get out stones in a child's kidney? How old is the child, Miss Singh? Miss Joanne Hospitalis says, outspoken and confident in what you are saying and the information you are giving. I like this, doctor. Good morning, sir. Yes, good morning to you, my dear. Miss Sharon Theodore says, Dr. Batson, I'm using the Santulan and the Alkagen water, and I'm feeling lighter, and I have a good energy, and I'm also using the liver cleanse, and I'm seeing good results. Thank you, Dr. Batson. Blessings to you, doctor. Thank you so very much. You're welcome. Miss Morika Beno is also asking a question there. She says, Doc, what do you recommend for vertigo? Or vertigo is dizziness. So people who have vertigo are people who have issues with cerebrovascular problems. So it means you have problems with lack of sufficient blood flow, i.e. oxygen and nutrients to your brain. So you're getting vertigo, dizziness. Some sort of physical manipulation may be needed. So it may be a situation of having to get a chiropractor or maybe a physiotherapist, do some sort of massage as well. There are exercises that you can do for vertigo. After God is Google. So I suggest you go on Google, you could go on YouTube and look. There are really some really nice exercises because what you have to do, they put you lie down on the ground and then it have ways that you do it. You do like stretching. So you go across, but I can't explain it. To give you a visual the way I want to give you the visual. So just check it out. Just look, you could go online, you could go on YouTube and type in exercises for vertigo. And they show you stretches and that type of thing that you could do to help to bring back some balance. Because sometimes it's an alimentary canal issue where it's really air. But most of the time, in my experience, it has a lot to do with lack of blood flow to the brain. So that's where drinking your alkagen water is concerned, using your optimizer, circulation teas. The IT is also a very good tea to help with that situation as well. Okay, Miss Bernadette says thank you. Miss Janelle says thank you as well. Miss Heather Lawrence says good morning, Dr. Batson. What can you use to flush out contrast? Okay, if you did thing with contrast, santulan will help. Your alkagen water, baking soda is also a good help as well. Activated charcoal is also something you could use as well. We'll be getting some of that in a little bit, but it's going to be on a little change because it's a combination product that I'm doing where that is concerned. So those are some of the things that you could use. Okay. Miss Cindy Hoyt says, Doc, I just made a batch of raisin detox in process yesterday for my son. Tomorrow morning will be game on for him. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so to the listeners of Sky 99.5, I know okay, so it's now 11:20. We have 10 minutes again. So let me just try my best to see if I could cover as much people as possible within the short space of time. Iman Shankra says, Hi, Dr. Batson. What product do you have or what product do you recommend to improve gut health? And there are a number of products we carry for that. The gastrointestinal tea is one. There's a product we have called Digestive Restore, which is a herbal aspect of helping the digestive system. So that actually helps to bring back the balance in the gastrointestinal system, improve your immunity. We also have Digestive Balance, which is an enzyme plus a probiotic. We also have the gastro tea, as I mentioned, Santulan, what again helps the gastrointestinal health. The inflammation formula is also good as well. So that's something that you could check out. So those telephone numbers again for the Shogunas office, that telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. I look forward to seeing you guys in Tobago on the 8th. I will move about accordingly, but I know I will be there from the 8th to the up to the 13th. But we'll just let specific days. I mean, that flight is like 20 minutes. Good. Miss Erica McCartney says, Hello, Dr. Batson. I'm using inflammation formula because I've been suffering from severe back pain and recently diagnosed with an arterial flutter. My back feels so much better after using one bottle of inflammation formula. I have one bottle left. Do I continue using it? Yes, you should. Miss Pat Ashton says, Good morning, Dr. Batson. Blessings to you and staff. Miss Mona Medina. Hi, Dr. Batson. Always good advice. Have a nice day. Miss Mona Medina, pleasant good morning to you as well. Good. So, Mr. Carter, I am now taking the baton to you, sir. Based on our time, 11:23, so maybe we could take one or two questions and then we finish up.
Yes, okay. All right. I used one bottle of the Women's formula since last year, December, and I have seen a lot of results. However, recently, a couple of days before my monthly, I do experience joint pain and muscle pain. Is that an indication of hormonal imbalance?
It may not necessarily be a matter of hormonal imbalance, but it's a matter of the body now starting to fix certain things. As I was saying at the genesis of the conversation, all women who have hormonal imbalance issues, i.e. things like fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, have gastrointestinal problems based on, the of the locality of the uterus in proximity to the colon, the uterus being posterior, or the colon rather being posterior to the uterus. So it means that a lot of times it could be an indication of some hormonal imbalance. So continue using the woman's formula. What I would suggest you do, I don't know if you use the alkagen water and what's the situation with your blood count. So you could always use the alkagen water and the inflammation formula, and you use the woman's formula with that, and that should help. There's also a product we have called magnesium 90, which is the liquid magnesium, which is easily absorbed. That could also help your situation as well, and I believe with those, you should be in a much better position. You could also check out the Digestive Restore. Because once you balance or bring back or improve gastrointestinal health, you do get overall health in general. Okay.
All right, we have another question. Hi, good morning. My daughter is preparing for exam. During this time, her period ran for 21 days.
Whoa.
I took her to the doc. She was placed on medroxy, progesterone, folic acid, ferrous sulfate. I also noticed her cheeks is a bit dark. I have been listening to your program, very interested. She also has an ultrasound appointment next month. Can you recommend a product until I make an appointment to visit your office? Her exam is in May the 12th, and the period has stopped.
Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah, she definitely. Did they give her age for the child? Did she say what, 16? I think it was. Was it? To be for some reason, I think she didn't give her age of the child. Okay, good, no problem. What you could use in the meantime, boy. The thing is, most of the time, you need to watch your water intake, as always, especially with young people now. Young people now don't drink water properly. So I'm not saying that that is indeed the case, but I possibly believe that her water intake could be improved. So I would look at alkagen water. Because it's an exam situation, I wouldn't let her use Santulan yet, because maybe energy and that type of thing. So I would use the resveratrol product that we have. Resveratrol is a component that you find in the skin of grapes and that type of thing. Very good for the body. That's something that you could check out. And she could also use the cerebral and the optimizer. So we will help with proper blood flow. We will fix the hormones. And most importantly, help with the brain and concentration and memory, because of course you want to do well in exams. So that would be my suggestion where that is concerned there. Okay. And if there's anything subsequent to when you do the ultrasound, you could always come and maybe get a visit, and then we will go through the ultrasound and we'll dot our I's and cross our T's as regards to, making sure that from that point on going forward, that improvement is consistent, or she knows what to do to continue or maintain improvement. All right.
We have another one here. We have a couple actually.
But what's your time, eh? Yeah.
She recommended to do embolization in my early 30s to shrink my fibroids, which didn't help at all. Not to mention, the same doctor saying now that this procedure is not recommended for persons that still wants children.
Exactly.
The doctor need a lawsuit case. I think he's lamented there. Also, I still had to end up doing myomectomy at 39. So we're looking at 41 to 42 age group and still not pregnant.
Oh my gosh. No, you need to come to Batson and Associates. The thing is, what we may have, you see the problem with let me just say very quickly. So this is the last question I'll answer based on the time that we have, right? I'm going to make up my mind if it is we are able to do a live this evening. What if there's anything we could always do it in the week. We could do it tonight. Okay, good. All right, so we will do a live tonight. I'll do a live for you guys. 'Cause I think I need to cover some things. So I've spoken to the man in charge, and he has said yes, we do the live. So we will go live from what we'll do, Shaki. We normally do from what 8:30 to tonight. We do 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and then we do our hour question and answer. Okay, good, right. So we'll be going from 8:30 to 10:30. All right. So that'll be tonight, and that's going to be, so you could join us on our live. We'll be Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we'll be Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we'll be Batson and Associates Trinidad. And of course, TikTok is Dr. Batson. Right. So very quickly, as regards, so the problem with women and uterine issues, as I said, is that area is very complex in the sense that one of the purpose of your uterus is actually for blood, and it acts as a filter. So in other words, women who have unhealthy uterus, or have an unhealthy uterus rather, ovaries going to have circulation problems. They usually have poor systemic circulation, which is below your heart. Pulmonary circulation is above, systemic is below your heart. So which is why most women, when they use birth control, they usually subjected to a lot of blood clots, because in interfering with the uterus, that whole situation to use birth control, it actually seriously causes problems with your uterus. So it can have problems. And then the tissue in the uterus is a very funny tissue in the sense that they open to scars. So women, when women do cesarean section, when they do endoembolizations, when they do myomectomy, which is why the doctor told her what he told her. Because when you do embolization and when you do myomectomy, so embolization is when you cut the blood vessel leading to the fibroid, and that is embolization. Myomectomy is when you actually surgically remove a fibroid. The problem is you have something known as scar tissue and adhesions, which if you research scar tissue is like spider webs. So it's like it's like netting that actually comes and cover up the tissue, and it could join other tissues. Fibrin and scar tissue could actually leave the uterine area and go all up into the intestines. That could cover your heart and kill you and thing, you know. It's a very, very bad thing. And that particular part of a female's body is very open to that kind of tissue not healing properly, which is why women, you need to be careful. You can't be going and cutting down there every minute, which is why even cesareans, too much cesareans is not a good thing to do. If women could deliver the baby normal, make a child. Though you don't want to be cutting, because that's 7 layers of tissue you're cutting going on inside of there. You know, you're going to be in some problems. All right, so I'm saying all of that to say, if you know you have a problem with fibroids, polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, and you really want help, we're going to help you. Understand though, ladies, I'm telling you from now, your diet is fundamental in your success as regards to this, especially if you're looking at making children. So if you're trying to get pregnant all the time and you was not getting pregnant, and you know your eggs good, whatever the case may be, we could help you. We are on record help over 100 women make children who couldn't do it. I have testimonies to that letter, including my one of my nieces who I stayed for, which is my brother's daughters. His wife had serious problems. And now, watch me, amazing. So I'm just saying all of that to say that you can get help. And, you know, we want to help you. So with all of that being said, let me thank you very much, Mr. Carter. Let me say to the listeners of Sky 99.5, it was a pleasure being with you guys this morning. As I said, we have a live that we'll do this tonight, which is going to be from 8:30 to 10:30, an hour program and an hour question and answer. And you could avail yourself of that. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And in TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Remember to eat some salad today with whatever pie you make, and, you know, smaller piece of pie, more salad, right? Mr. Carter, sir, always a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you so very much, sir, for your professionalism. And we see you until next week, please, God.
Yes, my friend. God bless you.
You too, sir.
Record.
Good. So social media, you all get what you all wanted. Who was the prompter in the group? Who's the one who asked for his first buy? Like, she smelled that rat. I try to remember who just asked for the program. But thank you very much, and we give you guys a program tonight. Keep in mind our hours. Keep in mind our open clinic day. Keep in mind that Batson and Associates is working for you. Let my consultants work, please. Dr. Batson is not the only person in Batson and Associates. All they cannot always see my beard gray. Watch how white it is. Look, there's some black in it still, though. I'm trying to keep my head black, right? So let us work and do what we need to do. To the consultants at Batson and Associates, again, a pleasant good morning to you guys. And all the hardworking staff, Mr. Shakil, who always continues to work very hard and ensure that our social media is looking good. Job well done, sir. Thank you very much. And of course, to all the listeners, do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Look forward to seeing you guys tonight. So those of you who can hop on, tell a friend. We'll be continuing our discussion on female hormonal imbalance. We'll be speaking about arthritis. I'm going to touch a bit on PMS hormones, and we're going to be taking your questions. So keep in mind that's from 8:30 to 10:30. Or you're working me tonight, but that's okay. All right, so take care, and we'll be in touch. God bless, and do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Remember, Shagona's marathon week is on this week. We have consultants in the house. Dr. Batson, of course, is going to be there on Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. We'll be in Debe, God's willing. Okay? So book your appointment. Those of you who may have been waiting to see us for a while, make sure and work with all your reports, and let's get the job done. Take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.